Just do your own time. You serve your sentence in your head. There ain't no finish line. Call no man happy till he's dead. There's a pressure behind my soul. I can feel it in my bones. There's a storm coming.
All right, and welcome. Let's move some people around. Oh, I'll fix that in a moment. Welcome. My name is Michael. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be GMing tonight.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I am she, her, and we'll find out who I'm playing because it's a mystery.
Hello,
Hi.
I am. Oh, wait.
Oh, I thought Nessa went. My bad.
No,
go.
no. Hello, I am Nessa, as Steve previously alluded to. Pronouns she, her, and I will be playing, apparently, Ibrahim. No, I'm kidding. I'll be playing Penn, who is a fan of werewolves and a wizard and kind of spacey. That's all you need to know. Also, she, her.
Hi. As stated before, I'm Steve. I'm playing the Bjornir mage Xaladin tonight.
All right, I think something got removed that shouldn't. So Ars Magica is a game where people play mages as well as companions and grogs. If you want to think about or are familiar with Lord of the Rings, basically your mages would be, of course, Gandalf. Companions are people that have a lot more story importance to the game. In our case, that would, or in Lord of the Rings case, that would be probably Aragorn, Frodo, and Sam, and all of the other members of the Fellowship, as well as a bunch of the other characters, would be considered grogs. They are important. They are awesome. They do not, however, kind of have the same amount of like story stuff as we see in the that's here. As we happen to see in the rest of the characters. So to begin with, we want to go over what has happened the last few.
We had gone to a I guess like a church, basically, a different covenant at the request of a very old man, because he was like, they were taken over by demons, shit was afoot, and we were like, shit was afoot, that could benefit us in many ways. So we did that. We went to the place, and immediately we got kind of sucked into like an alternate dimension kind of thing.
Regio would be a fairly common thing to mages. It is a essentially like a pocket dimension. It is essentially what that is.
Okay, so we got to the pocket dimension, met all his like kind of undead ex-coworkers who are like, you were that 12-year-old boy, but you're an old man now. What happened? Time? Who knows? We kind of ran through the place a little bit, getting, stuff. For a second there, we forgot that we were in a game where you gotta like loot.
We don't often do dungeon crawl type things in games I
We
run.
don't. We forgot for a minute. We were like, well, we were just standing there like, I wonder what the emotional through line with this priest is going to be. What do you mean there's stuff over there? We need to go to the sermon. But
Listen, it's Michael's fault.
That is
He's taught us to ignore that.
That is
type of stuff.
100% my fault. That is 100% my fault.
no, we should be more used to taking things. But we do all that, and then
Shit.
we ended up getting into it with a bunch of demons is the right word, right?
Yes.
So we ended up fighting a bunch of demons, and then we probably could have helped those people, but we were kind of like, nah, we got the treasure. We killed a demon, but it was kind of hard. We out. And we left.
We probably will help them in the future, though, because that is a lot of real estate that could be ours.
Yeah. And apparently
Real
they
estate.
hold an important part of the house. So we could potentially like the wizard equivalent of like inheriting like a lordship was my understanding, right? Or not a lordship, a seat at the table.
Well, I bet you've got your own covenant, but he basically said, hey, I beseech you as someone who used to be a member, granted an apprentice of that particular covenant, I can give you that. And having a covenant within a regio, especially a fairly decently powerful magical regio, you believe, there's an infernal aura. If that gets cleansed, then you actually, like an infernal aura will suppress once it goes up above whatever is in there. And at night, it's always a little bit worse. But like a regio, there's a lot of really useful things about regios like that. And you have the sphere, the sections of that. At some point, someone will have to sit down and take some time to examine it and figure out what it does. And that is something you can do during laboratory time.
Okay.
This is a game that goes for seasons, and in this particular season, so we are. Where is that there? Okay, something a little bit weird. Yeah, we're now in the summer of 2021, and over the time, let me put this. 2 seekers.
In 1221?
God damn it! Yes, what did I say? 2021.
2021.
Yeah, well, so,
I was like, shit's, or damn, we're in COVID.
well, I have to actually write checks, so I've had to think about 2025 because my landlord does not take electronic payment.
Oof.
Oh.
I also
I remember the days having to FedEx my landlord a check.
I just really drive down and drop it off because it's not that far, and it is definitely I also have to get quarters for my laundry. Yay! It did let me for my other game, the Spectaculars game. There was a thing about a bank vault, and so when I was there to get the thing, I'm like, oh yeah, I can kind of see the bank vault. I'm like, oh, that's how thick it is. Is there security here? And I'm like, I should stop looking this closely at the bank vault when I am in line waiting for the thing.
I appreciate the places that do quarters, but also there's a certain thing, especially in New York City, where I'm like, cool, great. To use this machine, I need $7 worth of quarters. Not going to find that in your couch cushions.
Yep, I just go for 20. So, we'll start with Penn. Penn, tell us what's been going on with what you've been doing and such with this glass child you've been wanting to make.
I think I'm like working on it bit by bit. It's not like my main focus at all times, but it is like whenever I have time, I go work on it because I still am like, I'm young. I need to work on, my werewolves and stuff, but this is part of it. I think I'm like constantly like trying to refine glass blowing techniques and like making sure everything seems okay with it. Like, I'm like, do I need to do like the organs? I don't know.
Yeah. It's something you want to make sure you get like, we'll put a book in there about glass blowing. You might be able to learn how to do that. Yes, currently you've been working with some stuff. And there comes a point, though, because of what some of the stuff you're planning on doing, seems like maybe a difficult thing, but you do happen to have on the premises one of, well, you have a legend on the premises in Daedalus. You have someone who knew a great many people back in the days of heroes, who might also know something about your problem. What kind of finally drives you to go talk to Daedalus?
I think I maybe because I always say about Penn, I think she's like alone in the woods the whole time. I think she overhears someone talking about the person who I need to hear about, and that he was of Daedalus's time, and I'm like, oh, Daedalus knows some guy.
Yeah, you basically heard someone. I don't know. Do any of you know the story of Pygmalion?
Yeah.
I do. Penn doesn't.
I can tell her if someone else wants. Or Sarah, you want
to? Pygmalion created he made a statue of a woman out of clay. I want to say Gaia. Is that correct? It was like
it's Galita or something.
It was a Zeus thing.
Galena, and she was so beautiful that he wished for her to be real, and then one of the gods granted her to be real. So basically, he just made the perfect woman. It's kind of the same type of thing that like an Adam and Eve allegory type of thing.
Okay.
They fell in love with the statue, and then Aphrodite came and turned it into something real. Yeah, you heard some people talking, because you basically heard a couple of the coven folk talking. No, he made that statue. That's why he's here in the marble works. He made that statue into a real woman. And he's like, no, I wasn't Daedalus. Daedalus' son fell out of the sky. Like, who am I thinking of? Pygmalion. Oh, they're probably the same. Well, the same. At the same time, right? He's got to know the guy at least.
Penn comes looming out of nowhere. He brought something to life.
Well, and again, like immediately, now that you're here, they're aware of you. The Magi gift. You see them both just immediately kind of go to attention, and bodies are rather tense at the moment.
Doesn't she have the gentle gift?
No, I don't.
Nope, that is Stephen Ibrahim.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, so there's pardon me, miss. We're talking about Pygmalion. Who gets Pygmalion? Fell in love with a statue, and then Aphrodite turns it into something real for him.
I should go talk to Daedalus then. What was I doing? Oh, Daedalus, right.
He's probably in his workshop. He usually is.
Thank you very much. I shall remember you. And then Penn walks off, not going to remember this person ever.
If this is the camera angle, as you walk off, we just see both of their eyes just like... oh my god, are we in trouble? I don't think I want her remembering us. And then the two of them kind of hightail it out of the area in which they were talking. Xaladin.
Yeah.
So you've been looking for some ancestor sites.
Correct.
And there is an ancestor site that you have... Something should probably pop up here in a moment for you all. There is an ancestor site that you have heard about, that you also think for... Probably you and Penn have both talked about about an interest in getting into one of the mystery cults of Bjornir. In particular, like the ability to gain the sense magic. Let me just remember. How do I make sure I show this? Here we go. So I'm going to show all of you this. Meteora.
Ooh.
Ignore the monasteries you can see. This time period, there were not monasteries there. There were, at this point, you did have monks and other such living in this area. This is an area that is like deep in the forest with these amazing Meteora, which I'm probably mispronouncing. Deep in the forest, that has these amazing mountains that these spires, not only mountains, but like spires of rock that go up into the sky, and this was a very important magical aura. You do know that there is in that area a bunch of places that are essentially the kind of like the pools that you need, like in a magical place where no man has swum. You do also know that there have been some monks coming in this area and living up on some of these kind of large cliffs. There is a danger of them perhaps not only taking over, but if they bring a holy aura to this area, it may not destroy all of the magical aura that's there. It might like kind of drive all of it back, but it is going to encroach on quite a bit of it because that's what magical auras do.
All right, we got to go kill some monks.
Possibility too.
All right. Yeah, I would be trying to put together an expedition to go there and first politely ask the monks to leave, and then if they refuse, fire.
Okay. And then there's also other places and such there that, like, there's good like ancestor sites in that area too, that if you can go and reclaim and find could do a good deal for you in the
House.
in the House Bjornir. So Sarah,
Yes.
Considering what's going to happen, because we'll be talking with Penn here in a moment, Penn's probably going to be flying to Cyprus. Actually, I was wrong when I told you, Nessa. It's not 6 hours away. It is about 12, probably a little bit less since you're a giant swan. But Penn will be flying where she's going. You'll be one of the people going with Xaladin.
Okay.
So if you want to decide either your companion or if you want to take a grog.
Let's see, story grogs.
And you can also use a template to make a new one.
Grogs. I'm gonna take a one we've already had before. Let's go with Thecla. Was the one that got really hurt, right?
Yes, one that got axed.
And Justina was the one that wanted to help Penn, correct?
That was the one that traveled with Ibrahim. She's a big feminist. Like, she was the one that, like, when Ibrahim was setting up that old doctor on fire, was just like, this guy believes that a woman belongs in being a doctor like a bird belongs in the sky. Don't you understand?
Okay.
Lady who's upset that all her friends are being set on fire.
I'm going to take her.
Well, you may also want to ask yourself, is that someone who would make sense going deep into the forest on what might be... could be an attack on the monks and stuff that are there, because you want someone who would make sense going with Steve.
Let's go with Hunter then.
Okay, go with our badass Hunter.
Yeah.
So
I did one good thing. He's like the sticky wheel gets the grease. I did one good thing, and now they're sending me out for every goddamn mission.
So Nessa,
literally, it's because of the stories of how good of a shot he is that Xaldin's like, yeah, you're coming with us.
So Penn,
I mean,
Daedalus actually isn't in his workshops, but as you go by one of the taverns that is in the Covenant, in the area where everybody lives and hangs out, you're going through the area, which is the tavern itself is made from the marble of the quarry. Like, some of this there's both marble and rock. This is a place where maybe they got, for the most part, what they wanted. There's rock on the inside, but the outside has still got a good deal of the marble. Much of this place looks like that, which is very cool. But you kind of go through, you see Daedalus in kind of off to the side on one of the tables having some drinks.
I think Penn does that thing where if you don't notice her, she walks very quiet. And then, like, when she starts talking, people go like, ha! Like, a lot. Which is not something that happens to Nessa. I definitely I've not gotten bells as a present from a coworker before to wear. But I think she does that. She walks up and just surprises the shit. And she's like, she puts a hand on both shoulders. Yeah. It's like, Daedalus.
And there's a moment where it's when his hand grabs yours, it is surprising. He seems kind of wiry, but also there's remember that this dude works with stone and other like materials a lot. Like there's some strength in that arm. And granted, how tall are you? Aren't you giant?
Like almost 8 feet.
Yeah. So like comparatively, but like there's warriors that you've definitely felt have grips like this, even though he's not like buff like one. But what he does makes his hand grip in particular, but fairly strong, and the rest of him good and wiry. He goes, oh, damn it! Stick up on an old man like that.
I'm 8 feet tall. I can't sneak up on many a thing.
I was lost in thoughts.
I was actually on my way to come see you.
Just kind of points to the seat across from him.
Oh, thank you.
Something to drink?
Sure, I'll have something.
He just so, and your presence just in the place as everyone's noticed. Kind of like looks and they bring you something, and he drinks some of his wine and just leans back and goes, "So why are you seeking me out?"
I overheard one of the guards talking. That you, around the same time as you, there was a man who brought something to life.
Pygmalion?
A woman.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew him long ago. He's still in Cyprus, I believe.
Oh, he's one of those ones who kept on living?
Once you get into the legends, you have a tendency to stick around. But here's the thing, Pygmalion fell in love with a statue. It's the number one thing to remember. The man fell in love with a statue. I made my mistakes, but I was trying to fly. I was trying to make new things. I was trying to conquer gravity itself. Even though we probably don't call it gravity in 1200. We know what it does, essentially. Basically, I don't know. Maybe we don't. But we know things fall. I was trying to ascend to the heavens. He wanted to sleep with a statue.
Well, whatever the gods want, am I right?
Apparently Aphrodite did for him. Whatever reason, I can't tell you, but he's essentially stayed on Cyprus as far as I'm aware ever since.
They seem into that kind of thing, the gods.
The gods,
at least from what I've heard.
Gods are fickle and into whatever destroys as many people's lives as possible.
Do you have any idea where on Crete?
Last I knew, he was staying in Nicosia.
Okay.
And I don't know if you saw Nicosia. I will show it to you. Nicosia looks like that, except not ruins.
I've always wanted to go to Nicosia.
Before it was ruins. Like 100 some odd years after your current date, it'll be like the capital of Cyprus for a bit. As I recall, from looking through it. But yeah, because if he's there, that's currently where he's at. My guess is probably trying to stay as far away from any of the holy orders, because I don't believe Galatia will do particularly well if she's within the holy aura. I don't do well in them either.
Nessa talking. You think he'd want to stay away from that royal family after that whole kerfuffle? I'd be living out in a cave where no king could bother me. Back to Penn though. I might want to go see him.
Well, if you go, and he goes, I can write you a letter of introduction, and also, do you want to take a letter to him from me?
Okay. That'd be helpful.
There aren't many of those like us alive anymore. Sometimes it's good to keep in touch. But remember, the man fell in love with a statue.
Yeah, but he's the only one who's ever brought something to life that I know of.
He didn't bring it to life. Aphrodite did.
But
he had her favor.
My mother had a bear that was made out of glass that she said she brought to life, but I never actually knew if it was true or not.
Did you ever see it?
Yeah, but it was just a bear out in the woods. Sorry, not mother, master. So it's easy to get the two confused when you spend so much time there.
Yeah. And since I'll be remembering, parents is actually the term that Magi use.
Yes.
Instead of like
Parents.
it's you're the one who taught you. Just yeah, I'll give you a letter of introduction. Come see me tomorrow, and I'll have that for you, as well as my own letter.
Okay.
By your flight,
talk
it should be roughly 12 hours, a little less, with some headwind.
A lone swan. What a thing.
Gigantic alone. Swan.
I'm gonna go find. I'm just gonna walk around until I find somebody who I know, who's also a wizard.
All right. Why don't we have that be Lear? Or are you looking specifically for Xaladin?
Whoever I run into first between the two of them. I definitely would be angling towards Xaladin because I want to bother the cat, but I'd take either one of them.
Okay. Probably has Hunter been one of the people called to you to about getting ready for this expedition?
For me?
Mhm.
Yeah. Hunter's there. I think Lear would still be recovering at this point, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Hunter, I've summoned Hunter, a couple other like soldiers. I'm getting ready for an excursion. So if you want Lear or me, it's your choice, not ours.
I'm gonna find Xaladin.
Okay,
Right.
I would say Hunter's probably like just to get Sarah there too. Hunter's probably
Yeah.
with you, like going over some of the supplies and stuff you'll need.
Yeah. I imagine Penn walks in when Zaldan's like, now make sure you get enough arrows, enough supplies. You're my right-hand man on this excursion. We're not even bringing my scribe. It's you. I'm putting all my faith in you on this trip.
Are you sure about that?
I've heard tales of your shooting. You're exactly what we need. Just go get the stuff ready. Come on.
Yes.
Also, Sarah, don't forget of his classic New York accent.
Oh God, no. Okay.
Just
Okay.
mother, coffee, dog, God, and then keep talking. It'll stick with you.
Mother, coffee, dog, God.
Also, you don't actually have to do it. I just
Last time
remembered that.
last time I visited New Jersey, I went with a friend of mine to see her friend in Beauty and the Beast. And the person who played Beauty sounded like Fran Drescher. It's like, oh, it's the Beast! And it was extremely difficult to get through because every time she talked, I'm just like...
I'd have a great time. I'd be like, this lady's fucking hilarious.
Well, Penn, what brings you to here?
What are you up to? I'm thinking about going to Crete tomorrow.
Why are you going to Crete?
Cyprus.
Cyprus.
Cyprus, sorry. Thinking about going to Cyprus. I want to talk to that guy who fucked a statue.
Pygmalion?
Yeah.
Why?
Secret project.
Ah. Okay. Are you trying to create a wife? Husband? Something?
Something of that nature.
Congratulations, then. I'm getting ready to go on an excursion to Morphia?
Meteora?
To Meteora.
Ooh.
There is an ancestor site there that I'm wanting to investigate, and there's also some monks that have taken up residence there that I'm going to politely ask to go back to the city.
Okay. Well, let me know if you need any help with it.
Well, are you taking a retinue of people with you to to meet this guy, or You going on
No,
your
I'm
own?
just bringing a letter.
Well, when you're done there, you'll probably get there quicker than we will to Meteora. Just meet us in Meteora. I could use some help from another member of our house.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be comfortable threatening monks, but people do find me generally unpleasant, so perhaps just being there will be helpful.
I'm not going to threaten them. I'm going to ask them politely to leave. And
That has
then when
never
they
once
say,
worked ever.
well, I mean, it worked with the people of where is it? Dionysus? The place we're right beside.
Well, that was also kind of
Oh,
the threat of
Demetrius.
wolf
Demetrius.
murder.
Demetrius, I asked them to not go into our forests, and they didn't. I didn't have to kill anybody.
Well, also, to be fair, a group of people had just been ripped apart for walking into our woods, so I do feel like the wolf murder was maybe the deterrent.
Maybe.
Also, we traded goods and services with them.
Well,
Maybe
if
the
I have-
monks have goods or services that they need.
Well, maybe we can get them out if I give them something. I don't know. I'm gonna try not to kill people. I don't want us to have a reputation of murdering people.
Too late.
Yeah, we've not done a good job of that.
Listen, we kill one werewolf and everyone gets bent out of shape.
It is kind of our whole thing. You ever think about that?
Think
You're
about
bringing. You're
what?
also bringing the werewolf killer with you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, more so. It's not entirely, but it is within the House Bjornir's creed.
Yeah, well, I'm more of a traditionalist, not a harmonist. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm taking that hunter kid with us, with my group of people. You've talked with him a few times, haven't you?
I've talked at him. I don't know if he was listening.
Ah,
Are you still in the room, Hunter?
No, he left.
but anyway, yes. So good luck on your trip. If you need anything from me, let me know.
You got it. I'm gonna steal Cassie for a minute, and I'm just gonna scoop up the tiger and take her outside to play.
I wonder how often you could scoop up a tiger. Just like a full grown.
The same way you would scoop up a large dog. I feel like a tiger would be a large dog size to me.
Did I tell you about the time I got to play with a lion?
No.
Oh.
So when I was in high school, a friend of mine, I made friends with a lot of seniors, and this is my sophomore year. My friend's friend worked at the U of I at the. He was going to school for vet tech, for like veterinarian technology, and they had a baby Bengal tiger, or not lion, sorry, wasn't a lion, it was a tiger, baby Bengal tiger, that was getting cataract surgery, and every once in a while he had to take the tiger for like walks, just to get it out on a thing, and there was a specific quad that they would use, and he told us, oh hey, if you want to kind of meet the tiger, make sure it was hot. It was in the summer. Make sure you wear jeans because it's hot, but meet us here around this time on this quad. I'm like, fuck yes. And so we show up, and this babe, like, it was it was cute, about yay big, and then you realize it's all muscle because it would grab the bottom of your cuff, your pant cuff, and you're like, oh god, this is not a weak thing, even though it's little and cute. Yeah, we got to play that, and then I was late coming back for a band thing, and my parents got really pissed off, and I was late, and I got in trouble, and I was pissed because I got to play with the tiger. I should be allowed to show up a little bit late. Because I was still on time to actually do the stuff we were doing. I just wasn't on time for like when you're supposed to be there.
Honestly, being like, I was holding a tiger baby should be like the ultimate like get out of jail free card.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next day we have, I think we have two different expeditions leaving. One with a single person transformed into a swan. You're given the letters by Daedalus, and then the rest of it. Is there anything any of you want to do before you take off?
No, I think I'm okay. Well, I'm gonna do the spell that makes my clothes and things that I'm carrying into a leather strap because you know,
Yeah, you
swan travel. Not yeah, I can't just show up there naked.
Yeah, basically, probably you probably leave shortly after dawn. Do your Parma magic ritual. Make because that lasts till what, sun up and sundown.
I think so. Where are my spells? It'd be insane if it was like that lasts for an hour. You gotta land and redo that every 64 minutes.
And that's a spell you might want to learn, Steve, because if you transform into a bear,
Tiger, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you're okay. But I think for some reason you're also a bear.
Mishka's a werebear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sun up to sundown.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, like it's about the same time you would want to cast. Your casting total is 12. It's a 15. Level 15 is not a problem. You cast it. You head up on your way. And it's about 75 miles, so it'll be a couple days to get there. How big of a group are you taking? For
I'm assuming that monks don't have like a military or like a ton of guards, so I'm probably taking.
Vikings discovered that.
What, that they don't have them?
Vikings actually did discover that. Because they're like, oh, you've got all this golden stuff here because no one attacks a church, and we'll just take it.
Yeah, we're so I'm probably just taking like six shield guards and hunter. Obviously, I have Cassie. I think a tiger is going to persuade them to not mess with me.
Mm-hmm. All right.
My goal is to not kill them. Michael, I don't want to, but if I have to, I will.
Do remember, holy auras are a thing if there is some there. Remember, holy aura takes down your casting total, whatever level of the aura is, times 3.
Times 3.
So yeah, like a magical aura of 3 gives you a +3 when you cast a spell. A holy aura, a holy aura of 3 gives you a -9.
Oh wow!
That's the reason mages don't generally fuck with the church.
Okay.
But there's some hermits and monks. This isn't like a full blown. Like you saw pictures in the modern day. There are monasteries that have been there, and that's a couple hundred years from now. When this is, there are some like monks and other stuff that are in that area because it is considered holy.
Okay.
As it is a very beautiful place. What's it called? The hanging in the heavens is what the translation loosely is. Yeah, so it's gonna take you all a couple days. Is there anything you two are doing on that journey that we want to do while you're going for those couple days to get there?
I don't know. Think of anything.
Okay. Yeah, so on the way there, you travel kind of deep into the woods. I went through and put on Google like Earth where it is. It is kind of deep into, I think.
Do we have a Google Earth for this?
Well, I've got a Google Earth I put together for our thing, but I think it's roughly somewhere kind of in here.
Somewhere in where?
Like, let me get you all onto the right thing. I'll just double check where it is on my Google Earth, because I've got someone went through and put where all of the covenants are in the entire game, like if they know where stuff are. So I've got there's like a pin with every single one in it. So roughly, you're a little bit south of. So if we bring you all over to here. It is kind of in this area here. Do you see what things are going? Blue, 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 blue.
Yep.
Yeah, that is kind of roughly where it is. It is, as the crow flies, I said, I believe about 75 miles. And you're going about 70. And you're going through some, woods and other things. So you'll be able to take the roads for a while. When you get off of it, you end up kind of going deeper in. And you finally get to the place where you are overlooking. Got my journal. You're overlooking the pillars themselves, The wood, like the massive kind of unbroken expanse of woods around you is absolutely gorgeous. I'll make a note there that the magical aura, that because you're kind of far enough away from everything else, here is a 4.
Okay.
Which is a little bit higher than normal. There'll be other places within that have better ones. But as you're going through and you can see like those massive rolling forests, you've got those pillars kind of sticking up out of it, and you can see kind of on some of them it's distant, but you can kind of see ropes and other things kind of hanging off what looks like maybe some caves and such that are in the side. And Hunter, one of the things you've never ever seen before, the thing is neither is Xaladin, but Xaladin's a little more used to unusual things in the world. Mm-hmm. There's a shadow that passes over your entire group. And this shadow, like, dwarfs you. As you look up, you see an eagle, that I think Tolkien-sized eagle. The giant eagle flies past and makes its way to one of the tops of those giant like rock spires, and settles in, and like you can, it looks like, and it's far away, but it looks like it's got a nest of some sort up there.
Oh.
You all right?
Yeah, just we're not home anymore, right?
No, we're very far from home. This is the wilderness. Humans should not be in here, but we are.
Yeah, so. we definitely are. Yeah.
Ugh. Well, just if anything comes towards us, shoot it.
I think you might be overestimating my abilities, sir.
You know what? That's one thing. You might also be able to have Hunter try to find some of these ancestor sites, because Hunter knows a lot more about is very confident in the woods and such, and is also very good, basically figuring out where things are at and such in there. So I don't. If you're also searching for some of the ancestor sites.
Yeah.
Okay.
How would I even explain that? Like, well, there's an ulterior motive to why I'm here. The monks are one reason, and they're important. But this is ancient wilderness. Old.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some ancient magical sites.
Okay. What's that got to do with me?
Hunter, one thing you notice is you saw a couple tracks as you're going through that did not really seem to fit with other animals that you're aware of. Like, they just seem like a bit bigger sometimes. Things that maybe had too many legs. Like, not like centipede too many, but like maybe 2 extra sort of horsewise stuff. You saw some unusual trails on your way there.
Sir, I don't. You want me to? What do you want me to do?
I want you to look out for anything unusual. You're a man of the woods. You understand how this world works out here.
Okay.
I need you to tell me if you see any footprints of animals that seem too big. Maybe some extra feet. Maybe an animal that shouldn't be able to jump real far, jumping real far. Tracks.
Okay, yeah, and just tell you?
Yeah, tell me,
right,
and then we're gonna follow those.
Okay, yeah, I can tell you things. Yeah, it's easy enough.
Do you want to search?
Yeah.
You've seen some of those tracks. The one thing you know, now this is not something. There's places that the wolves around you sometimes go to like drink at or hunt and such, that is, from learning from the mages, maybe a little more magical. So these unusual things probably go to places that are a bit more magical. If you want to make your game trails area lore, I think will help here. If you want to go ahead and make an area lore with the game trails, woods, how creatures work.
Simple die?
Stress die.
Stress die. Let's see what I roll. Okay.
13. Which is good. You rolled a 9, and then on top of it, yeah, that's a hard roll. Not quite very hard, which is 15. But yeah, so you, as you're making your way through, you find some unusual trails. You see some places where, not just some of the larger prints and such things going through that seem possibly like deer or stag or something, but larger than what you tend to see around yours. And occasionally you've had to deal with magical creatures. In the woods, not terribly far, but you don't tend to necessarily go as deep in where you get to the stuff with the Fae. Because did Hunter go into the fairy place?
No.
Yeah.
Did
yeah,
he?
Hunter and Bastion
Yeah.
went with Lear.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He accidentally seduced 2 queens.
Was that Hunter or was that
That was Bastion.
Bastion?
Oh, that was
Yes,
Bastion, right?
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
The opposite.
Hunter fell in love with Bastion at that point, though, too.
Right.
Yeah, that was where Hunter's like, and I'm Bastion's friend. So do any of you queens have like a friend you can hook me? Okay, I guess we're all just. I'm third, fourth wheeling it technically. So as you head deeper in, you see places where like a number of different tracks from a number of different animals and such will kind of join in. It seems like there's possibly the way a lot of the animals go to certain watering holes, things along those lines. And you find your way at one point back deep down, kind of around into a round part of where some of not the large cliffs cases are, but like some large things of rock. And there's it's almost a small cave, and the cave in itself has got crystals almost like a geode throughout it, and there is what looks to be about the clearest water you've ever seen in your life here in this space.
Mr. Xaladin, sir.
Yes.
Lord Xaladin, I look.
Oh.
Yes,
I knew you could do it. I knew I brought the right man for the job.
Yeah, cool. What do we do now?
Well, I look in the water, obviously.
Okay.
Well, as Xaladin, as you kind of come in, like it is, there's nothing in there. Like right now, at least you can't necessarily see. Water goes underneath for a ways. Now you are not someone who's particularly good at like your Intelligo Vim score is a 2.
Yep.
So yeah, like you're not like gonna be able to kind of spontaneously do much with that. What you could do if you want to check to see like for magic in this area. If you want to spontaneously do it, because you basically roll a d10, roll a stress die, add that 2, and then cut that in half. Give you a bit of fatigue, and fatigue can go away pretty quickly. Because if you're not like,
yeah. How do I roll just a stress die?
what you want to do is spontaneous casting.
Where is that?
So at the bottom, did you put the macros in?
I thought I did, but I'm not seeing them.
Okay. So if you go down to the very bottom of your whole thing, there's a little folder on the bottom, and there's like a bunch of like 1 through 0. If you click on that,
yeah.
If you click on that
1,
folder,
2, 3, 4.
You should see one that shows like quick magic.
Yeah, quick magic. Yep.
So what you're going to want to do is bring your token out onto the map. Just pull it out there somewhere.
All right.
You should probably get like some pictures or something for y'all. It'll be easier when you bring your tokens out because these ones disappear sometimes. They're all white.
Yeah,
So yeah, click on.
I've been meaning to.
Yeah, click on that, and then on the quick magic, there's a thing for spontaneous magic.
Quick magic. It just takes me to something that says quick magic. Macro quick magic. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Sorry.
No tokens or too many tokens were selected. So the other thing to do is
quick magic.
I think if we go to your
Roll
character
die.
sheet. Somebody's double check on the character sheet. For spontaneous magical effects. I'm going to create one in your thing real quick. It'll be icon. Well, be site. Intellego, Vim.
Okay.
Base level 3. Well, technically, I'll probably go 2. I'll make it so you actually touch it.
Okay.
So this is... Because it was Ibrahim who did that last time. So if you go into the spontaneous magical effects, and you should be able to click on that.
All right. Aura level is 6?
Yes, it is. Like, there's a lot of magical aura here.
All right. Stress die. I'm going to do loud voice, exaggerated gestures to get that extra. Stress die. Kablooey. We got a 8.
All right.
Plus a 7.
So that case will be, since it's got a lower thing, that'll be the penetration of it. So yeah, as you go through, like there's the magic here. Feel like it feels wild in the way that Bjornir feel wild. Like this feels like this is a place that belongs to all of you.
Okay. Beautiful. So you said it's like a cave, there's water, and then the water goes under?
Yeah, there's water there. It's not like you'd swim underneath. There might be something on the other side, at least that you can tell. It'd be fairly dangerous to do that, but like the water is being fed in here from elsewhere. It's not a stagnant pond. This is something that is being fed water.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Hunter. Hunter, this water is being fed from somewhere else. Think you can find it?
No. Like for you to find it, you probably have to dive into it and then not die if you try to go into it. Like,
does Hunter think that like it's just like any other river where I can just follow it along?
It's underground.
Oh shoot!
No, but I'm saying like the water itself is clear. There might be places to go. Like if you could breathe underwater or something, or like you could dive. It's just dangerous because you don't know. But I'm saying it's not like a thing where if I swim under, there'll be a place to go. It is a pool that is being fed like any other pool. It's not just stagnant water that's there. Like, this is fresh water.
Gotcha. Not sure I can, sir. It's looks a little wet.
Indeed. I have no way to breathe under there, so...
You're the magic one, sir, not me, so...
To be honest, Al, like this place is enough. You don't... Like, there's really...
Oh.
Like, it's a pool of water. Like, might there be a way to go in there? Might there be... Maybe. But, like, you don't have to go any place. You found a place.
Oh, okay. So the water itself would be good.
Yeah, this place that you're at right now feels like an ancestor site, and because you feel there's a Bjornir tone to it.
Okay.
Would you check for the map?
I'm gonna take out like I don't know, a decanter or like some kind of vase or a bottle, something, and fill up some and just like tighten it and carefully put it in my bag. I don't want this to spill.
Okay. And Penn, you've been flying over ocean for a long time, because Cyprus is like, if you look at the map, we're sort of looking at
it's like all the way in sand, basically.
Yeah, it's basically you go further down into the gray on the bottom right. So it's not quite in this one, but it's like 600 miles away. It's a good little jaunt. You spent some time over the land, a lot of time over the sea, and finally you can see in the long distance, you can see Cyprus itself coming into view. Now, did you go straight through, or did you stop, like, because you would have at least landed or something at nighttime in order to recast both your Parma magic and the ability to have all of your stuff not suddenly become clothes and other things again.
Not fall into the ocean.
Yeah.
I probably kind of went down the long way, kind of like did like a big S almost, so that I
Mhm.
could kind of be closer to the
Sure.
shore, basically. So like I would have like gone past like roads, I think. I don't know if that would have made it hella longer, but like
Yeah, and the one that you want essentially, if the island's kind of like this, and it's got kind of a thing popping out this way. The one you're looking for is kind of up on the northeast side. And this
Okay.
is Nicaea, or not Nicaea. It's the
Nicosia?
Nicosia, which is essentially like the capital area of it right now. So I just double checked. Henry the First of Cyprus is currently the regent. Or not, sorry, not Henry the First. It is. Yeah, there's currently technically an 8-month-old, or probably about 2 years, 4 years old now, who is supposed to be the current regent. But Philip of Ibian is the one who's currently the one in charge. Yeah, as you make your way down there, this is a fairly well populated area. There's places in Cyprus that don't have a lot of people in them, but this area itself, where he's possibly supposed to be, does have quite a few people. You have a city. This is a city that, much like a lot of the things that's happened since the most recent crusade, it has been in a little bit of an turmoil in the last several years because the people who used to be in charge of a lot of this area have been taken out, and the Frankish people have essentially taken over big chunks of them.
Mm.
So your first bet will be trying to find, well, this ancient man who fell in love with a statue.
All right, I guess I'll land and get dressed. Step one to any plan.
Mhm.
Don't You'll learn that the hard way. Don't ask questions as a swan.
Okay. You land someplace, you
And-
change.
Yeah. I think if I see where I'm like, that seems like a ton of fuckable statues over there, then I'll definitely veer off course. But I think I'm gonna go to like a town square or something.
Why are they all feet?
Do you fly over the city for a bit trying to find statues?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Especially if there's a lot of them.
Make a what's the always trying every time you're in a new game, it's like what's your essentially the awareness.
Well, I know I don't have
There is
the,
awareness.
like, yeah, I don't have awareness.
Okay, go ahead and roll with your perception. Stress die.
Oh, I forgot I have animal kin. I can ask an animal worst case scenario because humans are not helpful. I'm going to assume simple. That's an 8.
Okay, would have been stress, but in this case, yeah, you're good. Yeah, as you're flying around, you do see at one place, you see that there is a place with a couple like statues that how well do swans see?
That's a good question.
Because there's like some things can see like 8 miles. They have sharp vision, excellent hearing, limited binocular vision, which means they have few degrees of vision at both eyes at the same time. Poor depth perception. Bonus for spotting predators and other dangers. The price to pay for good sideways vision is poor forward sight. Yes, you're able to just kind of like, that it over there? Nope, that it over there. Yeah, you do find a place that has not a lot of statues, but the statues you see out front of this rather large home that is like got pillars throughout it, very beautifully done. The carvings are hugely ornate, and the couple statues you see out there are incredibly well done. Like almost lifelike in how good they look.
Well, this
Fuckable
one's worth a
possibly.
shot.
Like if anyone's gonna have fuckable statues, it's this person.
Worst case scenario, it's not it, and then I go to town. But
all right, yeah, it is sort of on the edge of town, a little bit further away. So you land there.
yep, land there, get dressed, and just not go up to the front door.
Okay. As you come in, there's some servants that are kind of scurrying about doing the thing. One of them just sort of sees you and goes, My God, look at you. Are you expected?
Not usually, no.
And as they kind of take you in more, you see the customary people getting a little freaked out. Like, if you're not expected at the house, then perhaps you should write for an audience. He usually does not allow just anybody to come.
I'm actually here on a delivery of sorts.
She steps forward.
I have a letter of introduction, if that helps.
That could help.
I'll hand him the letter of introduction, but not the one that Daedalus said to deliver. I'm going to hand deliver that one.
Wait here, please.
Okay. Do you have anyone who needs to give birth around here?
No.
Okay.
A few minutes later, you see that this guy coming out like long strides, wearing like the robes and such of the wealthy, comes out and goes, Daedalus! Friend of Daedalus! Ah, look, you're a big one. A mage.
It's nice to meet you.
Thought he'd given up on you people. I'm Pygmalion. I'm sure you know me.
I heard about you from one of the guards.
One of the guards?
At my keep.
All right. So, he says you're here of something of a personal nature. But come. I know. Don't do spooking the servants too much.
I go with, but then I hand him. I'm like, this is from Daedalus.
Oh, good, excellent. Check it later. We're old friends. People go back as long as we do. There's a lot to say. It is actually a fairly thick bundle of papers. He goes, oh, come, let's get you away from prying eyes. Goes through. You pass like the statues. It's like on the internet when you see something and you go, I don't know that this is someone's porn, but this is someone's porn.
Yeah, you draw feet too good, sir.
Yeah,
you're doing something else on the side.
I feel that this is more than just a picture. Yeah, it takes you in, goes to a place and goes, please, have you met my wife? This is Galatia. And the woman who comes out is stunning and wearing a dress that is, it's there technically, there's not a lot of it there.
It's there.
He goes, my dear, this is, I did not catch your name.
Penn.
This is Penn, a mage. Please, if you'll bring us some things to drink, maybe, would you like some fruit? Something to eat?
Sure. I'll never say no to fruit. Or meat.
All right, if you will bring us some fruit and then cook us something, we'll be discussing things. And goes and takes a seat on kind of a couch, and there's a number of places to sit sort of around.
I think I sit down, and I don't think Penn's one for like. Actually, she might ask a lady a question or two just to make sure that, like, I don't know, that she's all there.
Very blink twice type thing.
Yeah. Not even necessarily that, just to be like, you were brought to life from being a statue. You good? Would she do that, though?
We'll pop back. How about do this? Are we good? We're close to the halfway point. We would take about 5 minutes for bio break.
Sure
and then we'll pop back and we'll go to up to the north before we visit back down to see what's happening there.
Give me enough time to flip a coin.
Yeah, we will be back in a few.
All right.
and head back in. All right.
By the way, have any of you received letters from me?
Yes, I got your Christmas card
Yes.
this week.
I got it.
Oh, I haven't checked. I've got a pile of mail I've not looked at, and I've not grabbed stuff in a little bit. I will do that.
I just want to make sure they got there.
All right, so up north, you, as nighttime is kind of close to coming, you find a place to camp out.
Yeah. Probably set up camp. Look, gonna sit down with Hunter, probably eating some food that was made by somebody.
With your tiger.
Yeah. You're one of the few people alive who got to see an ancestor site.
Oh, that's really cool, sir.
Yes, it is. You see, it's an ancient and powerful site.
Okay. That's great.
So anyway, tomorrow we need to find these monks. I need you to do your thing and find them.
Hey, will do. Do you want me to find him in or just find him?
No, find them so that I can speak with them.
Okay, yeah.
They're encroaching on ancient areas they should not be encroaching upon. I'm going to politely ask them to go back to the city.
Got it. Right.
But if things go sour, are you okay with a monk?
I work for you, sir. So, whatever you need me to do, right?
I like your attitude. You'll go far.
Cool.
Okay. Do me a favor. Roll your house Bjorn your side. I give you ancestor sites. If you've got a little bit of downtime at some point, especially if you're looking at your mage, most of you I don't think have got specialties. So that's something you can kind of fill in some specialties for your things. But I put your specialties actually being ancestor sites. That's something you seem like you were interested in, finding out more about those things. So if you want to make a roll on that one.
Stress or simple?
Stress. And then Hunter, if you want to make either an awareness or possibly even a hunting roll will probably work.
That wasn't a very good roll.
I'll do awareness.
Okay.
Actually, I'll do awareness.
So,
not that great.
What'd you get?
7.
You notice that there are some animals in the area are kind of taking an interest. I mean, just sort of things coming close enough to see the fire, and they're kind of way deep in the shadows. There's some times where you get yourself a little bit further away from the fire to see, but in ways that are not normal for deer, wolf, the rest of them. Most of those things know to stay away from fires and stuff along those lines. They don't. These things aren't coming closer I mean, they're not particularly close. But they're not coming to check it out because they're hungry. They seem more curious. You see them come and then they move kind of further away. These are things a bit further deeper into the forest, but you can kind of still see their shadows as the moonlight and other things hit them on occasion, or rather highlight them. And for Xaladin, you do know some of the ancestor sites here. A lot of these places were they're deep enough in an area where very few people ever go, and there's been some pilgrimages made sometimes to these places to make sacrifices of vis and things along those lines. This is one of those, but one that hasn't been visited in a long time, as much as you know, because you know that there's been some problems with the monks and such in the past. You don't remember specifics, but it is something that you know is maybe one of the reasons it's not visited as often.
Okay. I don't know if I have any raw V's to sacrifice to this or not.
I'd say mages will generally probably bring some Whis along with them because you can use that to help increase casting scores. It's also stuff that you can in your lab to study. You use it for rituals. At some point, you'll need to
Okay.
determine when, like, what the raw wheat you pick up is, because we've got Sarah's for both Penn and Xaladin. You want to decide under the covenant. I've got like, if you go under,
Yeah, we were discussing that in the a chat a while back.
yeah.
But
So you want to decide, like, there are some stuff. Why do we have a whole bunch of Vsauce 3 for Steve?
I don't know.
Oh
I've
no,
never
no,
touched it.
those are the raw. That's the raw stuff. That's the stuff you pulled out of yours. So some of these you collected and harvested. There'll also be. Let's do this for Nessa, Ibrahim. Do these a couple times. Okay, so yeah, you probably have some that you have brought.
Okay.
And that-
I assume we camped like right outside of that cave, or pretty close to it.
Hunter, you would know that would be a bad idea because this is a place where,
Okay.
again, creatures come here probably to drink that are not your standard forest creatures.
Okay. Then we're probably a ways away. I want to sacrifice some wheeze. I don't know how to do that. I'm sure you'll tell me.
What I do is I just go into the raw wheat source you have in Apano Marina. We'll assume you brought some with you.
Where is that at? It's in the library.
If you go into the economics or possessions, rather possessions, and towards the bottom is your raw wheat.
Okay, so just
Hunter, how do you
do what?
Oh, so you're looking that up, Hunter. How do you feel about the kinds of like the fact that the animals such here are stranger than the stuff that you're used to?
I think Hunter's very very nervous around it because like he's cool in the forest, but this is just like a little off for him, and he's just kind of like just trying to get through the day, get back home, get back to his forest.
And probably have a couple different shifts of people watching.
Yeah.
This is probably nothing compared to being in the Fey realm, though.
No, but at least like that point, like he had like a half Fey with him, and he had a bard, and just
yeah.
And the Fey talk to you for better or for worse.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna do one of the. Oh, that's like 5 pawns worth.
You don't have to spend all of it. It's one of those things because basically usually what you do is you take the raw wheats and you put them into pawns, which is the traditional way of putting them.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of those sources. I'm gonna say I brought 5 pawns, but I'm gonna use one source of animal.
Okay.
Oops, I closed it. Damn it, Steve.
So basically, you sacrifice it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna lower that to 4 pawns.
All right, and the next day you're searching for monks.
Yep.
All right, Hunter, if you want to make a hunt roll as you're kind of looking for signs of life, and we'll go back to Penn. So Penn, you said you wanted to try to talk to Galatea, however it's pronounced. Galae or Teaa.
I got an exploding stress die.
Oh, what'd you get?
8.
I was going to talk to her, but then I flipped a coin because I was not sure if she would actually talk to her. And I rolled tails, which is not talking to her. So I think I'm going to. I think I brought the glass child with me, and I'm just going to kind of put it out in front of him and be like, "This is why I'm here."
Rough. Oh, dear, and he you hear some cooking. He's kind of looking it over. He just kind of takes the wine glass and just does this. And she walks back in and pours some wine for him.
I do not like this dude.
Fell in love with a statue, Sarah. The dude fell in love with a statue.
This is like a guy who marries his body pillow.
Because I'm going on tourism to try to find a wife in another country. It's like, yeah. So Penn, as he kind of gets the wine, he's looking it over, goes like, "This is rough. This is not clearly your particular gift."
No.
But there's passion to it. This is the kind of thing someone who's learning cares. You spent time. And he's looking it over for a bit and just goes, what glass?
I don't think this is a secret, but as part of the order, there are many different trials one can undertake, and one of them is to create an animal out of glass. And you can enchant it with touch, scent, smell, other things. But it's never really alive. It's just kind of there, you know?
Kind of leans back, and just because the food is brought, he doesn't even acknowledge Galatea when he brings out the food. Goes, no thanks or anything.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. He goes, I've known very few mages. This is a common thing with mages?
There's other things people can do. They don't necessarily have to do this. You can starve yourself or something. You know, one of the classic religion-y things that we pretend is just magic.
You said you make this see. Why an animal? Is this... I mean, you have the power of the gods to bring it to life. I know mages have certain limitations. Is this within your power to make this something real?
I don't think so. No one's ever done it. My mother said she did, but now that I'm older, I think she might have been lying.
And is this you said is this an animal or is this like a child?
This one's, I think I brought the baby with me.
Okay, yeah, because we've talked about the baby. We meant the animal. And he goes, so you want to make a child that sees, that feels, that hears, tastes, that touches. But you make it so that it would shatter easily.
Ideally, they would become like your wife, flesh.
Yes. It looks in the next room, and there's just a like flesh. Look, Sarah gave. Like I said, he fell in love with this. He fell in love with the statue, Sarah. This is I think Daedalus is an ambitious person who got beaten by life and losing both of his sons. Technically killed one of his sons directly, and then his other son died by not listening, and has been punished for both of those things.
This guy got everything he ever wanted.
Yes, and what he wanted was a woman who had very little agency.
He hated women so much he became celibate.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, and he just goes, so you are a child. I wanted love. And I found love. Aphrodite herself felt what I needed. Felt my yearning and came to me and gave me love. But this... possibly. She's the mother of many, after all.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But this is... rough. Do you want to learn how to do glass blowing and such correctly?
Ideally.
Better artisanship than this. Because I might be able to help, because I've not seen Aphrodite in some time. Aphrodite is as beautiful as my wife is. She pales in comparison. If I could bring the goddess to my doorstep again. Nothing quite like it.
Well, I would appreciate the help. Do you mind if I talk to your wife for a little bit?
Oh, certainly. It's one thing goddess didn't make it terribly interesting, unfortunately. Sarah, it's a character.
That's the one where it's like...
I understand.
I saw that look through it, just like...
I can't tell if Nessa's just overpowered or if this is the first time that Penn's like, I don't think this guy wanted a real wife.
You think?
Something's afoot here.
So skeeved out, I'll be honest.
Penn's just gonna like look at him for a second and then just assume that this is like she's never even been in like a room with someone who's been married for more than like 6 hours. She's gonna assume maybe this is just what people do. I hate my wife. That's what people do.
Back then, but probably a lot more. Like people didn't. Well, if you were rich, you didn't often have as much opportunity to.
It's true. The fact that if you're a woman, the fact that you're allowed to leave the house as a woman in this era must be for Pygmalion. He's like, God, the way we've fallen as a society. Back in my day, a woman wasn't allowed to be seen
or heard. She was made of marble. That was it.
Or
so it was like back in the good old days. That's back when husbands used to die early. And the wife would just live on without ever getting married again. Weirdly,
with her companion,
and they were roommates.
Just weaving all day. Yeah, but I'm gonna take her turn about the garden with her.
Mm-hmm. And she seems very comfortable around you. Like not at all like, I mean, it makes a certain amount of sense because she is something magical. Yeah, as you go in the garden, she's like, so you not many people come to see my husband.
Well, I had a very specific problem. Have you ever aged?
No, I've been roughly the same age. I mean, I've been like this ever since I was made. I mean, granted, he hasn't aged either, but he was a good deal older.
Okay. All right. You saw the child that I want to make, but the thing is, I do want it to, be a normal child and grow up. So that might be something I need to consider further on down the line.
A child. I can't have one. I would have by now, certainly. But think Aphrodite could make a child?
Potentially.
But and then she kind of like looks back into the thing. She's like, a child will not be welcome here. He's not fond of many interruptions. You seem to have intrigued him, though. It doesn't happen very much.
Well, people often find me odd, so maybe that's it.
And Boy just kind of laughs, and she's like, I find it very hard to speak with most people. I spent so many years just with my husband. I mean, staying at home. It's very hard to describe how the statue you had came to life. Then the people you knew died, and even then, it's mostly been him.
Do you ever regret being made? Because I suppose a child especially can know more. Whether he was born of flesh or glass will be unhappy or happy being made, but
I sometimes wish it could.
I don't know. I do worry about that.
It should be more than this, right?
This house?
This house, this life, these walls. It's a nice place, and the servants are kind, but you see them grow old and die so quickly.
I've mostly spent my time in the woods with animals, which compared to humans, they die much faster. They also have simpler needs. Things are so complicated now, and people have so many different things and values and goals other than live through the winter. That's a very easy goal.
Never had to deal with a harsh winter. We've always had something like this.
Yeah. Even then, they don't get too harsh on the main island. You're quite far from there, by the way.
So, do you take his offer to spend some time, basically, like, would be this season, learning glass blowing from him?
Yeah, I'll spend the season learning glass blowing.
Okay.
I'm assuming I send like a impromptu message back being like, not murdered.
Yeah. And here, I'll do a thing for you real quick. So we will be coming back to you during this because I have a feeling, are you going to continue becoming friends with Galatea?
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell if it's just Nessa, but I do think Penn is genuinely like, I might need to kill this guy.
That's always our first reaction.
It's very typical of us.
We kill a lot.
Penn's only if something's threatening you in the woods, your only options are to run away or fight. And she's not very good at fighting, but she also doesn't think this lady can run away.
Oh.
So
activity. So I'll put this. Oh, I'll do it this way. So the source quality, I'm putting it under practice, but technically you're learning. I'd have to actually make the teacher to put it in as a teacher. Source quality will be 19 for him because he's very good. Because you basically take his communication plus his teaching plus his, you're the only student he's got. So, I think it should be, exposure. We can put training down instead. That'll work. Get rid of this. Here, let's delete this. I'll make it again. We'll head back to the other ones here in a moment. I'm just going to put this in your diary entry for you. So I think if I put training, teacher has nothing advanced. Oh, teacher score. Okay, I should be able to put it here. Teacher. Teacher's name, Pygmalion. Oh, and the ability. Why is this not giving us a... Okay. So do me a favor, look up if you want to look up and see which there's a craftsmanship, right? That's not academic. Is it under general? Craft. Craft teacher score 16. Applied activity schedule before this one. So summer of 1221. Do you have... You got spring. Okay, so I think this will happen once you decide what you're doing for spring. If you want to decide what you did on spring, and if you want to put that in for 1221 spring, while we're going, then it should allow us to put that in for you because it's saying, yeah, you have something else you should do. The next morning, you wake up, and we did the hunt. Sarah, what you end up finding in the distance, you're able to see that there are kind of like ropes and such, and like maybe some pulleys and other things coming down from like some of the caves that are kind of high up in some of these pillars as you're going through. And at one point, you see someone who's probably 16. A couple of them are coming and bringing food and supplies. I was looking from another village. They come and they put some stuff in like a small box that's on the pulley. They come through. They call up. We're here, and they kind of tug on it for a moment, and then after about a second, the thing starts to make its like the supplies they brought start to make its way up, and then you kind of hear faintly from, "How many have you brought?" And they're like, 3 more loads. And you can see the food and such, the supplies they brought being hoisted up the side of these giant pillars.
Where is Xaladin right now?
Probably are like you're all probably with Hunter.
So is he seeing this too, or am I just like
you probably go a little bit ahead? You see this, you go back and tell him.
Hey, sir. I think we found our interlopers.
Ah, beautiful. Lead the way.
I lead him to the where it is, to the cliff face. Yeah, they were hauling food. There's some coming down right now. They said they have 3 more loads.
Well, then we shall wait for them to return.
Right, joke,
Boys,
sir.
all of you, be ready.
You see after a bit, you see it makes its way back down. There's the winch and the pulley system with the ropes, makes it down at the bottom, and then they put more stuff on there.
Yeah, at that point, I'm gonna walk up, like, kind of hail them. Good day. Good day.
They're kind of looking at you. Like there's a certain type of small town. We don't know you. And like, these kids are probably 15 to 16. Who've been brought up stuff. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Xaladin. I'm curious as to who you are and why you're in the woods.
We're bringing food for the holy men.
And where is this food coming from, if I may ask?
From the village.
Oh.
Down the way. Not far.
Are there many in the village?
Make a folk ken roll.
Folk ken. I don't think I have folk ken.
Well,
we all do.
Or do you have another one that works a bit better?
A folk ken. I don't have folk ken. I have charm.
Try charm. Remember, we got a -3 because you're a mage. No, I'm sorry. You have.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do not. You do not have. Make your charm roll.
6.
They not completely at ease, but they're like, there's a network of villages. We're the closest to this particular pillar. We bring them food. There are about 150 of us.
Ah, wonderful. Thank you for the information. How does one get up to speak to the holy men, if you don't mind me asking?
I mean, they climb up there, they take the ropes, but people rarely ever go up there. Then one of them just goes, "No, I saw one of the eagles grab one once and return it to the top, return it to his cave." And then kind of nods and goes, "Possibly the eagles." And then it kind of points towards one of them that's a little bit off in the distance. He goes, "Except for that one has the vultures. That one we stay away from." If you were to speak to the holy, I mean, you could possibly climb up, talk with them. It's not easy. It's very difficult to make their way up.
Wonderful. Well, continue doing what you're doing, and when you're done, I suggest you go back to the village and stay out of these woods. It can be quite dangerous out here.
And as it kind of comes back down, you see them very kind of nervous about putting more on there, and then it's lifted up, and they look like they're ready to run at this point when you're speaking, but they have to kind of finish giving the supplies and such.
Does it look like these ropes are pretty secured? Like, could someone use them to climb up?
Very possibly. I mean, the thing is, I would say, is Xaladin someone who would know much about that?
No, he wouldn't.
Hunter,
but
you take a look at to see if it looks sturdy.
Yeah, I think Hunter would. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, climbing is something like it'd be nerve-wracking. Like, possible, yes. It would be difficult for many people to do that.
What about a tiger?
How well do
Like,
tigers
Xaladin asks specifically to Hunter, how do you think a tiger would fare getting up there?
Talking about yourself or Cassie?
Well, what? Just a tiger in general. Like, why are you asking so many questions? How hard would it be to get up there? Tigers have an athletics of 6, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I think they'd be able to do it.
You probably go to trees. I don't know about rocks, though. I'm trying to figure out. because like as a tiger in the tiger form, you're good at climbing trees. They usually climb trees, but seldom do so except when the cubs are young. They provide a powerful grip to hold the tree trunk. Rocks would probably be difficult to do so.
Okay.
Like just because you're not going to get purchased. If it was a tree or something, sure. If it was like rocks that are like kind of sheer, the way these are. I mean, it's possible to make your way up. That rope as a person is probably the best way to do it, and it would be not an easy one.
Okay. We're just gonna wait till these young kids are done, and like once they've loaded the last one, Xaldin's just gonna look at them one more time and be like, I don't want to see you in these woods again.
Okay, and they kind of like they haul ass away. Is your tiger with you, by the way?
Yes. Cassie's always
Cassie's
with
there.
me.
Yeah, they haul ass away from where y'all are at because that is that's a threat.
Tiger.
So, yeah, Xaldin's gonna look at the hunter and just be like, well, now we climb, and by we I mean all of you, and then you're going to pull me up.
Did you bring Did you bring any Pegasus people with you?
No, we don't take them on excursions. That would have been a smart idea, but we don't. Next time, maybe I'll think of that. So, good luck, everyone.
All right, let me see where my athletics is. Good news, everyone.
Okay, so yeah, I have a feeling that looks like you got your other stuff in.
Oh.
So it looks like when I move it ahead, you'll gain the glass blowing.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hunter, you make your way up.
What about all the other grogs?
They're not all necessarily going to be as good at hunting, at climbing like that. That's going to be fairly dangerous. Hunter's probably going to be the best at that.
Okay.
So,
Just all around awesome.
Hunter, you head up first. The other ones might like get some ropes and some other stuff to get it. But the thing is, if everyone just starts climbing, that means there's more people to fall and die without extra stuff. Yeah, so Hunter, you're actually able to. The rope itself is fairly sturdy. You make your way all the way up it to the cave. As you kind of pull yourself up, there's a smell of a man who's been living in a cave for a long time. That is a little rough. That kind of hits you, and there's it kind of looks as fairly like rail thin. Been up here for a long time. Looks like a little wind beaten. So the rest of them sort of looks and goes, "Oh, would you be? Has God sent you?"
No. Who are you?
My name is Gracchus. A holy man. I came up here from my hermitage so long ago, but the eagles let you come here. That they don't do that for many.
An eagle brought you here?
I came here. Here I can be closer to God. Here I'm more able to commune, to live a pure life.
Do you want to go down?
No. I am here because this is where I am supposed to be.
All right. Well, just to let you know, the guy I'm working for, he doesn't want you up here, and you can't be up here.
Unless the guy you're working for is God himself. This is where God wants
He's
me.
pretty close to it, man. I'm not gonna lie. He's pretty close to it.
Is he?
Yeah.
And kind of looks over the side and goes, "Who is this man that you work for that's so close to God?"
He's a mage.
heard of them. They're not close to God. Their power is whatever it is, but they're not God.
Look, man, you can't stay here. I'm sorry. You have to. I know you want to be close to God. I'm sure there's other places around, but not here.
Do you think you have the ability to remove me from this place?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure I do.
He just looks at you and just looks at you and just goes, "The eagles let you come this far. You cannot be a terrible soul.
I'm just doing my job, man.
Just doing your job." Well,
How about this? How about you come down with me to the bottom? You talk to my boss. You guys hash it out, and you figure something out.
and there's just this moment where he just kind of smiles. He walks past you over like towards the cliff edge. He just sort of turns and looks at you and goes, "I suppose there's only one way to find out if it is my time to return." Puts his arms out, just falls backwards off the cliff. Penn.
If he dies, Hunter, you're never getting another day off ever.
Penn, you've been working for a while, like learning from Pygmalion. Pygmalion's not improved who he seems to be as a person at all in that time. But have you been spending time with Galatia? Or Galatia?
Oh, yeah.
You find like she's almost never left this place. He is fairly jealous about other people seeing her. As a matter of fact, most of the servants that he has and hires are women, often early 20s, seem to have been picked for their looks. Yeah, he's a fairly jealous person about who his wife speaks with.
Hmm.
So what do you do with Galatia? No, that's pronounced.
I imagine we walk around. I think maybe once or twice. If he's like, I imagine he seems like he gets drunk. You know what I mean?
Oh yes.
I think on one of the times where he gets like real drunk, I like snuck her off to the woods.
Yeah, and she seemed kind of giddy to be out there, just like being out of the home as you go, and she's like, "I haven't been out in so long," and it's one that like so like you go out to the woods and away from folk.
Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
no people. I'm here to be like, I heard there's wolves nearby. Perhaps I could introduce you to one of them.
Do you know you introduce? How do you introduce someone to a wolf?
Well,
Is that what your
usually it
mages-
goes like this.
Hmm?
I say, hello, it's good to see you, Mr. Wolf. Do you have a name you prefer to be by? This is my friend Galatina. And then it kind of goes from there, usually.
She just laughs. I mean, she thinks you're kidding at this point. Do you call for one?
Yeah, sure. I'll go.
And with your I'm sorry, I keep looking at the XP. But you do have a 16 with animals. Do you want to like call animals to you?
Yeah.
Like essentially summon a wolf.
Yep. Stress die or simple.
So well, because this would be you could do this with your magic with Rego animal.
Okay.
So really to level 2, the thing if you do it like with voice, so you could create a spontaneous spell effect. Because I don't think this is one you have, but this is also one you'd probably be able to do relatively easily. So it would be Bigo Animal. The 2 would be the basic. If you want to probably make it either voice or if you want to do like a higher one, barrier or something that will be able to call things in the woods. And do you want to target just one or do you want to target a group?
Okay.
Duration is momentary. Are you getting just one or do you want to get a bunch?
Just one.
Okay. Did you change the range and such?
I did not change the range yet.
Okay.
I was gonna do
Yeah, so-
voice, and then is momentary okay, or should it be like concentration?
Momentary, you're just calling. Momentary is fine.
Okay.
Because I'll say if voice doesn't have to be within essentially within the ability to see it. Sight, you'd have to see it. Arcane. The other ones, I think you have to do for a thing. Yeah, voice will be fine. Yeah, so if you cast it, it'll be a spontaneous spell, but you have your casting total for that is a 14. Which means you're only trying to cast a 4, which means you had that. Like, you're going to have no problem casting it. Okay. Exploding stress die.
15.
Yeah, as you kind of call it a moment later, like do you howl when you cast it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. After a bit, there's a wolf kind of makes its way like over kind of a hill, looks at you and goes, "A mage is cold. You're of the forest."
I am. May I ask your name?
My name is, and he gives you his wolf name.
Mm-hmm. May I call you Longclaw?
Longclaw's good. This one, she's of the Fae. Also a creature of the woods. Not these woods, but other ones.
Oh. I guess if you're made via Fae magic, you're also Fae. What? No, I'm being rude. Galatina, this is Longclaw.
She's looking because the whole time you've been like, like the wolf is. You respond back. She goes, Longclaw, you're speaking to him.
Yes. Do you have something you'd like to know about the area or his life? The wolves don't know much more than that.
Yeah, she's like very excited. Just wants to know what life is like. As you kind of go back and forth, as you sort of introduce her to this thing that she's never sort of seen before. And we'll head back. Those of you at the bottom, as you look up, you see this kind of really frail old man spread his arms and just fall backwards off of it. And then you hear the cry of an eagle, and this gigantic eagle like comes by, grabs him up in his claws, or his talons, and circles around a few times on his way up before kind of gently dropping him back at the mouth of the cave. And he just looks at you, Hunter, and goes, God has spoke.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. I God loves you and all, but you really cannot be here. There's got to be other caves and higher places where you can talk to God.
It just sort of was the eagles brought here by God, protecting us from the vultures on the Devil's Tower. This is our place. This is where I'm supposed to be. You, however, I see inside of you turmoil, regret. The soul seems stained with sin. It doesn't have to remain that way, you know.
Look, man, I've seen some crazy shit recently, very recently. Yeah, I've done some stuff, okay, admittedly, but like I'm fine. I'm packing that all down and dealing with it.
And so Lucy goes, unless you're going to kill a man of God here, in the cave which he's spent decades probably at this point, living an aesthetic existence, then I would tell your boss that I answer to a power much higher than his.
I want to say something really quickly. All right. I don't think Hunter's the kind of guy who would take the initiative on this unless he was told to. And he has not been directly ordered to kill the holy man, just kind of take care of the problem if Xaladin can't. All right. So he's gonna crawl back down the mountain.
Okay. Xaladin, you said you saw the eagle come and grab him and then return him back, and then after a bit, Hunter comes back down.
Did
Yeah.
you push a monk
No, I
off
didn't.
of the
I
mountain?
didn't
Yeah.
push him.
The other guards are kind of like wide-eyed, looking at you, like that is.
I swear, I didn't push him. He fell back of his own accord because he knew that eagle, that damn bird, was gonna catch him.
Listen, you don't have to lie to me. It's fine. Anyway, y'all might want to step back. You all might want to step back. I'm gonna call one of those eagles down here to speak to it.
Good. Yeah, he's not leaving, and he kind of threatened me a little bit, and I ain't having none of that. So I figured that you can handle that. I mean, I'm here for backup, but
I want to call that eagle down. I know that's gonna be spontaneous casting, but
Okay. Be the same sort of thing you saw previously, where you have, again, yes, if you want to create the effect to basically plant a thing in an animal's mind.
okay, that's, I don't have that macro still.
Oh, so just go in your character under spontaneous magical effects.
Okay. Create. So that's gonna be.
We go 2 with you. For you, probably sight is where you'd want to have it because it's high up enough you would not be able to call to it.
Rego sight base level 2 then.
Mm-hmm.
To momentary individual.
Yep.
Okay. That's a level 5er. So boom. Rego animal kaboom. Aura level -12.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but we'll try. Stress die. Here we go. Kablooey. Hey, I still got it.
what you get?
7 on a 5. So you just hear Xaladin. What?
I was going to say, yeah, because it does still divide it all by 2.
Yeah. So what would it be without a divided by 2? That would have been a I guess 14 if it's all divided by 2.
The only thing is though is you're not going to be enough to necessarily to penetrate its might score because it will have like you need the penetration. If you did not have there, you might be able to do because the +5 essentially is the penetration score.
Okay.
That you have because it says your penetration score is 3 plus the multiplier. Yeah, so as you cast it, like you've noticed you've probably taken a fatigue. You're in a fairly strong holy aura right now. And as you try to cast it, one thing you notice, instead of something there coming, there is a darker tower, one that almost seems to have a shadow over it, and vultures, instead of the eagles of the other ones, make like kind of flap their way out and seem to be looking down at all of you. Penn. Galatea comes up to you one evening when her husband's kind of deep in drinks after you've kind of been learning for the day and just goes, we should go into town.
Okay.
To be around the people, to see them.
Whatever you want.
It's been so long since I've done that. I plied him with some fairly powerful drinks this evening. He won't be waking up.
I pulled the same on my friends when I was younger.
It smiles because, so you'll take me. We can go.
Sure. Why not?
She doesn't know a whole lot of where to go because she's not been around. Granted, you know how cities and such are. What do you do that evening?
I put a cloak on her and me, obviously. Although I'm huge, which probably won't help. Actually, if I turn into a swan, do you think a beautiful woman holding a swan is Zeus coded enough that people might be like, we don't need to talk about that?
I think people might talk about that more because it depends. The people who are from this area, there's a lot of the belief in the Greek gods stuff still does exist amongst those, but you also do have a lot of people that showed up after the Third Crusade. And so, because a lot of this area has been taken over by the French, the Frankish people, you do have a lot of foreigners who come here who are not as used to the Greek gods being a thing as they are to people who grew up in the Theban tribunal.
All right, I just slapped cloaks on us, and we head into town. And I also haven't really been into town this whole time, so I also don't really know what to do. But I guess if there's like some kind of performance or something that's like out in the open, because I feel like bars are not a good place for me.
Okay. Yeah, like you do find that there's like a street festival at one place where people are drinking and kind of dancing, and she's got the cloak and she's trying to keep herself kind of concealed as far as that goes. And she's looking, you see her, like, you two take a seat someplace, or what do you do?
Yeah, we can take a seat someplace. I try to like shield her as much as possible, but also still let her, have some fun.
Okay. And she's looking and seeing the people dancing, and she's like, she's kind of watching it for it, goes, I understand how they do it. I can feel it. Would it be... Do you think it would be okay
if we danced?
Or, yeah, we or I or either.
Whichever you want. It's whatever you want.
And she just sort of smiles. She's like, it kind of goes up, like if she can take the cloak back a little bit. Like, it almost like looks at you almost like for permission.
I'm not gonna like try to affirm or deny. Like,
okay. She just kind of,
she's her own person.
Nervously does it. And again, she's stunningly beautiful. And like very quickly kind of puts some eyes as she kind of like shyly gets up and she's looking and catches the eye of a fairly handsome young man. And with more, like, not at all shy for someone who's not been around a lot of people for a couple thousand years, makes her way over and is like soon sort of dancing with him. And before long, someone sits at the seat that she'd been sitting in next to you recently.
I'm keeping my eyes on her because I cannot lose her.
You kind of can't pull your eyes, but then like the glow from beside you starts to distract you.
All right, I will turn and look at the glowing. Can
you
I help you?
And then you see the most beautiful woman you will ever see in your entire life, as Aphrodite smiles at you. Back to the towers.
All right. So you said a bunch of vultures are coming towards us.
They seem to be kind of like circling over that area.
All right. I'm gonna wait and see if they descend.
They seem to be kind of like paying attention, like kind of like looking as they sort of come down a little bit. There's an eagle like comes out of the sky and scatters the ones that are nearby, giving like kind of a scream as they head back towards that side of the tower. And the one as it kind of flies over again, seems to look down at all of you. The eagle does, and it just sort of feels like there's a warning inherent in it.
I think that we're gonna go to that pillar over that way. So pack up and let's move.
To which one?
The one where the vultures are.
Okay.
Like we're gonna head towards that.
All right. You'll get yourself, and as you're going there, you can kind of see like the forest in this area becomes a little more decrepit, a little worse. Right on your way, and as you're coming towards there, you hear a voice from the forest. It goes, "Devil's Tower is not a place many should go." And a man steps out, probably in his 60s, but well kept together. He's got the tonsure. Looks more like a monk in this area.
And who might you be?
I'm Father Crispin.
Father Crispin. I'm Xaladin. Are you with He points at the place where they just were.
One of the eagles brought me closer. You came here to... Well, you spoke with one of us. We saw him fall.
I did no speaking. My friend, my associate here did, but I'm trying to figure out what your intentions are with this area.
These are holy pillars. These aspires to heaven. Those of us who's convinced ourselves that God has wanted us here have come here. The eagles help us occasionally, the people in the villages nearby. We live holy lives here, up in our small caves.
That's slightly a problem. There are some ancient, powerful sites in these woods that I don't want disturbed by humans.
Just sort of smiles, laughs, and then just looks around and goes, looks to you, and then also at like the rest of them. And like Hunter, you see like you get pinned a bit with his stare. Like there's a almost annoying holy aura about this person. There's a calm and a zen that seems to sort of fill him. And he goes, "Are these woods yours to command?"
No, they're not mine to command, they're mine to protect. There's an ancient order that has sites in here that I would prefer the holy people to leave alone. Humans are destructive to nature. You all should stay in your cities and your villages and not be disturbing the natural order.
Are your holy sites in your caves?
Some of them.
Are they? Then if God would have you with those caves, he would. We stay here. We live in these areas. We do not leave them often.
So you are not here to destroy, populate, any of that.
This area is holy because this is the way God wanted it. Why would we change that? We live, and he kind of like, again, points up. You see some of the ropes in some of the other like those pillars nearby. It goes, we live life of ascetic monks in caverns, fed by the people in the surrounding areas, or occasionally by the eagles themselves. We live in communion with all of this.
You said people shouldn't go over to the Devil's Tower. Why is that?
This is a place we might be able to help each other. Devil's... And just goes, Devil's Tower, that's a place where no people are supposed to go. But there are people from some of the other villages who are drawn to it. People who find themselves corrupted by what's there. Those people are going to be a danger to what you're thinking of. Not us, not the monks.
Are there people on that tower now?
No one goes to the tower, goes up into it, but things will come down to them. The vultures, other things. Corrupting influences. The villages around here who you want to speak to if you want to find out those who have been corrupted by the devil, by the tower. That is your place to look.
Thank you for the information, and like I said, please don't disrupt the nature here. It's old and perfect the way it is. Doesn't need human interaction.
and looks over at Hunter and goes, I was told to tell you forgiveness is possible, no matter what you've done.
I sleep fine at night, sir.
Do you?
Yeah.
Penn.
Well,
And no one else seems to notice the glow. But it is, and it kind of fades a moment as you see her, but there's still no glow. Even more for the glow, this is the kind of person that if she were in the same room, the same area as other people, people would start to notice very, very quickly.
you're like a fresh winter's snow.
Smiles and goes, been called many things. I don't know if that's one of them. So Penn of House Pioneer. You give my daughter some freedom.
I could only hope. She's very cooped up in there.
She kind of laughs and goes, she's unfortunately tied to him, though. I was hoping he would be... No, not him. Loved her so much, and I took pity. Do you ever just look at a guy who doesn't deserve it and do something he shouldn't?
Maybe. Oh, yes, I did. I turned a man into a gerbil once. Because I thought he deserved like living with us, and then he escaped and killed a bunch of people. Is it like that?
No, I gave him a wife from a statue that he would never truly be able to bring happiness to, but she is tied to him and unfortunately cannot live the rest of her life away completely.
If that's the way that it works, I'm assuming because you know why I'm here, right?
I know you call, and I know what you've done for her. There's something you want, but I don't know what it is. Exactly. I don't have... Well, it's not part of my realm.
I was hoping to bring a glass baby to life. But I don't think that would be my child. I think it would be your child then. So maybe this isn't the way I want to go about it.
Because I'm the wrong person to go about that. I'm about love. I'm about lust. I'm not about motherhood. I don't want to be a mother. God, no. It's so much more fun to be what I am.
That's fair. I'm not going to lie. I don't know that much about you. I thought it was like all the love. In all its forms. Well.
Hermes might be the one to talk to. You should visit Hermes. Tell him I said hi if you do. I haven't seen him in so long.
I will try my best. Real quick, do you know when people who are... There's like certain people I am to understand who are special, like your daughter's husband, I use that word lightly, and Daedalus, and they just keep being alive. Is there like a timeline for them dying, or do you just kind of got to wait it out?
If they die, we will die as well. They're tied in with the Fae. They're tied in with the magic in this part of the world, and there's a reason she doesn't go too much into deeper parts of the city where the holy auras are. They're magic. They're currently tied in with the world, and so long as people remember who they are, they're going to remain.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Humans have a very good memory.
I forget kind of easily. Mount Selene is where you should go to speak to Hermes.
That's a funny coincidence.
What's the coincidence?
I have a friend named Salim.
Selene.
Oh, Selene, the moon. Never mind. I thought you said Salim. I was like, crazy.
Yes. And she like suddenly in her hand appears like a glass of wine and hands it to you.
I thought this was of Dionysus.
Dionysus is not the only one who drinks, though his wine is very good. And she kind of goes forward to tap. Goes, I don't want to be a mother, but she and you see Galatea like dancing with this young man. He goes, I guess she technically is one of mine. Thank you for giving her a taste of freedom.
Well, we're not out of the woods yet.
Just sort of nods.
You're welcome.
And goes, Mount Celine's your best bet, but you realize if you make a child, it's not necessarily going to be what it is you want. Pygmalion did not get exactly what he wanted. Of course, he doesn't know what he has.
That's true, but I think that's how every child works.
Galatea was made to love him, born to love him. She can't help it. And that's a curse. Love often is. I need a drink
It really
more.
is.
Takes us a long drink.
I guess we'll just spend the rest of the evening hanging out with Aphrodite, watching her daughter,
Yeah.
have a good time.
She's gone before too long, and we head back to he wants to say Meteora. What are your plans, folks?
Xaladin, after hearing that, wants to go to these villages and figure out who's corrupted.
Okay. Seems like a good place. To end for the evening.
Yeah.
Okay. So I figure next time what we can probably do is follow y'all into there, and then Penn will continue. Ness will probably have you grab a grog, or possibly a companion to be with them, and while Penn's continuing to learn from Pygmalion, we might flash back there a time or two.
I like the idea of me just grabbing somebody.
Yep. All right. If you want to let people know where we can find you, folks.
I'm Sarah. I'm Purple Week One on TikTok and Purple Week everywhere else.
I am Nessa. LOCHNEASSA on TikTok, everywhere else, but I have the most fun on TikTok.
I'm Steve. I'm the Dragon Axe. You can find me on TikTok. You can now find me on Blue Sky, surprisingly. You can also find me every Friday night on Beards and Barbarians and every Saturday on Ronin's Den.
And I'm Michael. I'm Improv GM everywhere, and we will catch you later.